that most just cannot begin to understand. The path is off the map, uncharted and undone, where only the strong endure. The test is internal. The test is vital. The test is a quest for something new and meaningful. Cause there's gold in them there hills, and it will take innovation and creativity to strike it.
Yes!
Believe the rush. Never give up. Grasp the glory. Trailblazing is the labor. Discovery is the prize.
Copper Mountain, it's an amazing place to be, from the restaurants to the on-hill activities, where they have a very progressive on-hill scene. You've got Danny Davis's Peace Park, you've got the 22-foot deep Superpipe that hosts the Grand Prix here every year, and now the Dew Tour. And it's no doubt that it's drawn so many professional snowboarders here and skiers because it's really all about progression.
It's one of the best parks I've ever ridden, and also it's one of my home mountains.
I've been coming here since I was just a little tyke. Copper's a lot different. They're so driven by rider feedback. They have so many great facilities here. They have the Woodward Barn.
The barn's massive.
It's a good place to come train and shred.
If you want to come and push yourself to progress and be the best that you can possibly be, places like this and also up on the hill, they're perfect for the athletic pursuit. I wish I had foam pits like 30 years ago.
So I think it's pretty great that you can work on your tricks over there and then just transfer it to the mountain.
And they just opened Red's Backyard, which I think is probably the coolest aspect of this entire resort.
Last year, my mom and I made this pitch to Copper and Powder Corp to try to make a free hike park at the bottom of their mountains and call it Red's Backyard, and they were down.
Also, with the addition of the Three Bears lift, accessing Tucker Mountain, there's something for everyone.
The terrain around here is just really fun to ride on, like a POW day or, the tree runs. Just all in general, there's so much that Copper has to offer.
If I was going to go someplace to ride, I'd go ride Copper.
I think for every snowboarder, it's important for it to be fun and creative, or else it just gets stale. You want something bigger or different to ride.
Creativity is one of the biggest fundamental aspects of snowboarding in general. It's not necessarily just huge stuff, it's simple stuff that just looks good.
Keeping snowboarding progressive and fun is one of the biggest things ever, and I think one of the more important things in snowboarding. Every contest you see new tricks that you haven't seen before. I think is something cool that Dew Tour does is hit every slope-style snowboarder and half-pipe snowboarder in their weak spot.
Yeah, we dreamt up Peace Park because we were just kind of getting bored of the same old half-pipe, same old slope-style course. You can take so many different lines through this park. Whether it's just like a berm or some whoops, it's all stuff that we've kind of experimented with, and these guys are now taking and putting it into the everyday terrain parks.
Dew Tour is always the best at creating really cool, creative courses, and every year they blow my mind.
I feel like if you're not nervous during a contest, then it's I don't know, I feel like I always do a little better when I'm nervous.
When something new goes down, it's really usually based off of the rest of the field. You've landed the best you have. You're not in first, so you got to try something even crazier.
Sometimes it's hard to get yourself to do it, and sometimes in the moment of competition, you kind of forget about all those things and go for certain tricks, and that can be quite progressive.
The longer you sit there at the top, the trick's gonna get no different. You're just gonna get more scared.
That's the best pressure to have, is just from yourself.
For most of us, that feeling of perfecting something so difficult is the real reward.
It's an opportunity to really ride at your best. So the more that you do that, the better you're going to be.
When you're on the top of the half pipe getting ready to do a crazy run, the most fear comes before you drop. Just sitting up top thinking about it, that's the scary part.
I would go for a walk, just get away from people. I just wanted to get out of my own head, talk to myself, you know, basically convince myself I could do it.
It's you versus the half pipe.
I definitely get a lot of butterflies and a lot of anxiety. You just kind of embrace it and then it goes away.
The absolute worst thing ever, you're just like bristling with energy, like it's time for you to go, you run, and they go, hold, we gotta hold.
We get out, fired up.
Welcome to the Rockies, everyone. As Todd Richards told you at the top of the show, we are here at Copper Mountain. It's been almost 2 years since we've been here, and we are happy to be back as they play host to yet another installment of the Winter Dew Tour. Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Jimmy Coleman, sitting here in the booth alongside none other than Pete Arneson. And well, if you were looking at the schedule and you thought you were going to see some snowboard slopestyle, and you're like, hey, what gives? Well, the story today, Pete, it is the weather, so we flip-flop things a little bit, and we're getting ready to kick off the men's Ski Superpipe Qualifier presented by Toyota. But as you can see by that shot right there, Pete, the weather is very daunting out here today.
Well, it's not just the snow, Jimmy, it's the wind. These guys are going to have to deal with gusts, 20 to 30 mile an hour gusts coming through that half pipe over the top. So it's fine when they're down in it, but as soon as they air out, it's blowing them all over the place.
Yeah, looking at some practice as of right now, but those gusts get up to 36 miles an hour with that visibility, with that falling snow. That is definitely going to cause a problem with the speed out here today. But let's talk about some of the resort stats here, Pete.
Well, I took that nice shuttle ride with you, Jimmy, 75 miles up from Denver. We got 2,500 acres of terrain here, 24 chairlifts. We're up there.
Yeah, and everybody loves fresh powder. It's not so great when you're trying to get this qualifier underway, when you've got 23 people in the start list here, and you're trying to make a cut of 10 to get into the finals. However, you know, they're all professionals. They've been here before. They can power through this thing out here, but look at that shot right there. That gives you an idea of the visibility that we're looking at. As I mentioned before, 23 riders, only the top 10 advance. You're only going to get 2 runs at it out here today, and it is the best run that counts. The best possible score you can get per run is 100. That says overall impression right there, Pete. Let's talk about that. Let's break down some of the things that the judges are looking for out here today.
Well, the judges base everything off of criteria, so they're looking at difficulty, they're looking at amplitude, progression, variety, and then execution. And they combine all of those things into an overall impression score to rank the skiers through those runs.
So you're going to have to be adaptable here with the weather, and it's weird with the wind. You can see the wind blades up there at the top of the pipe. It is swirling. It seems to be a little bit worse at the top of the pipe and gets a little better as you get down to the bottom. This thing is 575 feet in length, by the way, from top to bottom. But there is the beginning of your start list. As we mentioned, 23 in the run order here. Let's talk about some of your favorites, some of your standouts, of what it's going to take to make that 10 cut.
Well, some of the big names like Alex Ferreira off of a big win here in this same pipe last week at the Grand Prix. We also have Aaron Blunk and a few of these other guys from Canada, Simon D'Artois, Noah Bowman. They'll all be mixed in there. It'll be interesting to see how they handle the weather.
So let's talk about the strategy here today. Again, this is the qualifiers. You're just trying to make that 10 cut to try to get in the final. The wind and the snow being the way it is today, how does that change up what your headset was coming into this, your mindset, if you will?
Well, there might be some backing back on some of the biggest tricks, but these guys are going to try to go out there and land a clean run, get up in that top 10 to make it into finals, and hopefully have a little bit better weather for the finals.
So that is the name of the game out here. It is 2 runs each. It's the best run that counts. And one of the other things, too, when you have a start list this long, there's a lot of time that goes in between your first run and your second run. So that's a lot of downtime. So let's talk about that, too.
Well, and the weather can change. I mean, it's changed already since we've been in the booth in the last 10 minutes, whether the wind's going to die down or if the snow's going to taper off a little bit and change run 1 from run 2.
Yeah, they're getting the brunt of it up there at the top of the pipe. We get to be sequestered here. It's a little bit better in here, but you can see the walls back here at the back of the tent blown around. You can't see it, but under our desk we've got hotel towels that are wrapped around trying to keep us cold here, or keep us warm. That wind keeps changing though, and like I said, you can see those wind blades at the top of the pipe, and it's just whipping around, and it doesn't really have any kind of a consistent pattern. It's just all over the map.
Well, I'm happier to be here with my cashmere blanket and with you, Jimmy.
Oh, look at that. You're already buttering me up. We haven't even gotten started yet.
Well, I mean, you were my roommate at one point.
So let's talk about the visibility, too, because there was a couple of shots prior to us coming on air where you couldn't even see from the base of the pipe going up to the top. You couldn't even see the first couple of hits.
Well, a lot of that is just the snow getting blown in over the top of the pipe from the outside. And that could play into factor with the judges being able to see the runs. I mean, the camera cut from here from the bottom makes it really hard to see that first hit.
Yeah, you can see right there, just look at that wind. It's just sending that snow all over the place right there. And the wind blades are going to be ones to watch here because, I mean, you can see that just the direction is constantly changing. So we are going to start it off with the men's Ski Superpipe Qualifier here presented by Toyota. We've got the women coming up here a little bit later on this afternoon. Right now, let's take a look back at how the women's ski pipe event went down here in 2020.
Let's take a look back on how we started the day here on day number 3 in the Women's Ski Modified Superpipe presented by Toyota. The Canadians were dominant today.
Cassie Sharp came out swinging. Run number 1 with 2 big tricks, including a 1080 on the final hit. So absolutely stomping it in the first run.
An 85
sitting comfortably in that first place position. But right behind her was her fellow Canadian, Rachel Carker, really fresh to the scene. Back-to-back 900s and some massive airs on the new modified features and just absolutely laying it down.
Cassie Sharp, Rachel Carker, and Zoe Atkin. I don't say it was a big surprise, but she gets herself on the podium, but not before this incident, as Cassie Sharp goes down hard, Tom, on run number 2.
Very, very difficult fall there. She ended up sitting out run 3 and hoping that her 85-point score would hold on for the win. Rachel Carker came in the third and final run, laying down an absolute hammer, but couldn't quite top that 85. Ended up with an 83, so ending up in second.
The Canadians go 1 and 2. Cassie Sharp, Rachel Carker in second, and American Zoe Atkin finishing in third place at the Superpipe presented by Toyota.
Welcome back, everyone, to a blustery Wednesday afternoon here at Copper Mountain in the heart of Colorado. We are getting set to kick off the men's Ski Superpipe Qualifier presented by Toyota. And, well, you see they're slipping the pipe here a little bit, putting some fresh dye lines down, and, well, they're going to need that because visibility is going to be key as we roll through this qualifier out here today, Pete.
Yeah, when the sky looks just like the snow, Jimmy, it's pretty hard to be flipping and spinning above that pipe. So those green lines are really going to help those guys.
Yeah, with that wind being one of the major stories there, you can see that just kind of whipping around up there by the banners up there on the start tower. But speed is going to be a key, visibility. And, of course, you talked about a couple of things the judges are looking for, height and, of course, amplitude. We'll see how that's going to be affected. But going back to what we were talking about earlier, strategy coming into this, you don't have to go for broke out here today. You're just trying to make that 10 cut. We were originally slated for 24. We had a couple of drops. We're down to 23 now. And we're just about ready to get this party started. Weather aside, we're going to go with this anyway out here today.
Well, it's a great day for it. It is a winter sport. It is an outdoor sport. No domes here.
What did you refer to this earlier? You wind NATO or
snow NATO?
Snow NATO.
Snow NATO.
Here we go. We started off with a 20-year-old all the way from China. This is Bingjang Mao. Again, the best possible run score you can get out here today is 100. You get 2 runs as we run through this qualifier, and it is the better of your 2 runs that'll hopefully get you on that 10 cut and put you into the final later on in the week out here at Dew Tour Copper Mountain 2021.
We have a strong group of Chinese skiers out here trying to qualify for the Olympics there in their home nation. Looking to get some good runs out of them today.
Yeah, we haven't really mentioned that yet. It's not just about getting on the Dew Tour podium out here this weekend. This is also an Olympic qualifier. You've got Beijing coming up in February of next year, so that is just around the corner. And as you mentioned before, they just had the Grand Prix out here last weekend. So most everybody here has been well-versed on riding this pipe. And, of course, Alex Ferreira with a dominant performance there last week at the Grand Prix and getting the big win there. So we're on a wind hold right now. Here we go. Looks like he is in, starting from skier's left, and see how slow it is getting into that pipe. But we are underway here with Bingjang Mao.
Get things started with the big left 900. Backing that up with the right side version, mirroring those first 2 tricks. Judges like to see tricks in both direction. There's the double flare, landing really low, but keeping it together into the right side 1080, putting that down switch, coming in backwards with the switch left 720. So a nice full pull.
I thought that was a pretty good recovery there after that low landing, but still on the last hit, they're struggling to get just above the lip there. But again, you get 2 chances here, and it's the better of your 2 that count. But it's always tough being the first person right out of the gate in a comp, especially in the weather.
Well, and you have such a small margin for error with these half pipes. I mean, you want to land in that top section, and if you land low like he did right there, you lose all your speed, and he had to kind of change his line down the pipe, but still was able to put that right 1080 into the switch left 7 down. So a nice full pull for his first run.
Yeah, I thought he regrouped nicely after that low landing, but just fighting there on the switch hit, just right there at the lip. We'll see how the judges set the bar here with a 41.50 to get things started. That's always tough being the first one out of the gate, but the good news is with that, you're always in first place right at it.
Without a doubt.
Silver linings here, Pete. Silver linings. Coming your way next out of Bend, Oregon, 23 years old. We are about to welcome in Hunter Hess.
Hunter has a big bag of tricks. Also one of those guys who can ski pretty much any terrain, so being out here in the snow and the weather shouldn't affect him too much. So look for a nice run for him.
You just see, look at all that snow just whipping up on the skier's left-hand side, that skier's left wall there. You can barely see from our vantage point here. And here we go. He is in for his first of 2. This is Hunter Hess.
Hunter getting started on that looker's left wall with a nice big double flare, reaching back for that tail grab. Followed that up with a right side 900, opposite mute. And there's that left side 1080, reaching down for the nose into the switch right 720. And then following that up with the left side double cork 12. Nice full pull from Hunter.
I thought that was a great run there for Hunter. It didn't look like he was having any issues with the speed right there.
Nice variety of grabs, variety of rotations. Judges like to see that mix through. So here's a look back. There's that double flare, double 1080, reaching back, capping that grab. And into the right side 9, opposite mute, the lead mute with his right hand pulling that one through. A big variety, different grab on every hit. Judges will take notice to that. Nice, clean, full pull. Pretty good for the weather.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it right now, but the wind seems to have cooperated just a little bit here with our first two competitors that we've seen go here. Again, as Todd Richards mentioned at the top of the show, 22-foot walls on this super pipe, 575 feet from top to bottom. And look at that, Pete, second skier in. We're already in the 80s. Hunter Hess is going to check in with an 80.50 to put him in that top spot. So nicely done here, despite the weather. Puts him in a comfortable spot for now with one more run to go for him. But he's going to have to wait a while to get that next run in the books. Coming your way right now, we have the elder statesman in the crew out here at 32 years old, all the way from France. We are bringing in Kevin Roland.
Kevin, absolute legend of half-pipe skiing, dropping in switch, coming in backwards to that first hit with the big switch left 720. Speed not a problem for Kevin. There's that right side double 12 and just sitting back a little bit, a little off in that landing. And looks like he's gonna have to look to run number 2. But speed not an issue for him.
No,
Definitely.
not at all. Just little back seat on that one and killed off that run. So he's gonna have some time to think about that one. However, he's a veteran. He's been doing this for years and years and years, so look to see more out of him in round number 2 as we take a look at some replays here.
You can see him come into this right side double 12, gets the pop, grab all the way through, just comes around and is a little low in that transition, sitting back on the tails of his skis and wasn't able to keep his line into the next hit. But he has a second run and his wax techs are doing well for him. He's got lots of speed, so look for a second run out of Kevin.
Yeah, down there in the 20s there with a 24.75, so looking for that one to be the throwaway run. You're going to hear that term a lot out here today, again, with 2 runs and your best run counting. So you've got one to throw away. You don't want to. You kind of want to get it done in that first round, but I like the best run format, Pete. So right now the top mark to beat, an 80.50 that we saw out of Hunter Hess, our second competitor in. But right now out of Lakewood, Colorado, we bring in Dylan Ladd.
Dylan getting things started with that double flare, landing a little low but keeping it together into the right side 900 lead tail grab. And then following that up with the left side 10, wrapping that one through into the switch right 720, getting the Japan grab there into the left side 900 lead tail. So a nice full pull out of Dylan. A lot of landed runs so far. And the weather's not too much of an issue.
Don't jinx it, Pete. Don't jinx it.
There's a look back at that double flat spin. Looks like more of a double down the pipe. Reaching down for that Japan into the right side 9. You can see him reach to that front ski, so his lead ski capping that tail grab. There's the switch hit with the switch right 720. And his last hit with the left side 900, just touching that tail grab. Judges like to see them holding those grabs as long as possible, showing control through those spins.
He's going to knock on the door of the 60s right there. He's going to have to settle for a 59 flat. That's got him in that number 2 position as of right now, but still talking about Hunter Hess getting that 80.50 here in the early goes. He was our second skier in. We've got Brendan McKay all the way from Calgary coming up next. That last run you could see, I mean, that visibility, I mean, it was purely evident right there in that run. But here we go on course, 24 years young, it's Brendan McKay.
Brendan getting things started with that switch alley-oop. Backing that up with the switch down the pipe 7 with the Japan. There's the right side 900 lead tail. To the left side double 12. Wow. Getting that one around a little back seat, but keeping it together into the right side 9 lead tail.
Hangs on to that one to put in a solid first run right there. Good save there by Brendan McKay towards the latter portion of the run. So again, it is a 10 cut as we roll through this top 10 here from this qualifier, moving on into the final.
So look back at that switch down the pipe 7. You can see him reach down behind his leg, grabbing that Japan grab into that right side 9 tail grab. You can see on his last hit, he did the same trick. So judges are going to take notice that he repeated tricks. So it wasn't exactly what he wanted, so he'll look to run number 2 to improve. But you can see he landed a little back seat there, had to change his run up a little bit.
You got an 80.5, a 59, and a 41.50, your top 3 scores as of right now, but we are not even halfway through the run order here, so he's going to check in with a 49 flat, so that's going to put Brendan in that number 3 spot here. If you're just joining us, this is round 1 out of 2 here at the Men's Ski Superpipe Qualifier, presented by Toyota. Another Chinese competitor coming up next, 18 years old. This is Binghang He. Looking like he's going to get it started here from skier's left.
Another one of the strong Chinese skiers looking for getting the qualifying to his home country for the Olympics. Getting things started, dropping in switch. With the switch left, down the pipe 7 Japan. Following that up with the right side 900 safety into the left side 900 safety. So mirroring those tricks into the alley-oop flat 540 Japan. Little backseat on that one, but keeping it together into the down the pipe flat spin 540. So nice full pull there.
A little bit of issues with the height on that one, and then that one hit scrubbing a little bit of speed coming down the wall there.
It seemed like he was a little on the wrong edges a couple times, which made his track through the pipe a little different than what he'd want. And that could be something to do with the extra snow in there. There's a look back at that left side 9. Here's the alley-oop flat 5, reaching back behind, getting that Japan grab, and then ended up with that down the pipe 540, so a nice run.
Waiting for the score to pop up here. We'll see where that slides him into the mix. No score. We'll wait for that one to pop. That's going to put him 44.50, put him in the number 4 position. As we're moving right along here, Pete, coming up right now from Steamboat Springs, this is Samson Schuling.
Can't see his legs, Jimmy.
Going for that snow camo here. It's a bold choice here.
Bold choice. See if it pays off for him. There's the big air to fakie. Nice style trick, mixing it in the middle there. It's nice to see not spinning super fast on every trick. Oh, and a big gust of wind as he's going with that right 9, keeping it together. There's that big alley-oop flat.
It's just a wall of snow in the face for Samson there, middle of the run. But again, keeps it together.
A little bit different take too. A couple style tricks mixed in. Good grabs, good amplitude. Let's see what the judges end up doing with that one. There's a look back at his first hit with that left side 900, reaching back for that uncrossed tail grab. And here's the air to fakie, getting that safety grab. Always nice to see a nice style trick mixed in the middle of the run into the switch left side 720. Here's a look in the snow there, blowing over the top, no problem for him, keeping it together. He should get extra points for that, that's for sure.
A little extra weather add-on?
I don't see why not. I'll have to have a conversation with those judges.
You're going to have to put in a strongly worded letter, sir.
I can put him in their place.
Okay, so 54.75. Where does that put Samson? He slides into that number 3 position, so you need a 54.75 or better if you're going to crack into that top 3. Moving right along, another Canadian skier here. We got Noah Bowman finishing 6th place here in this very same pipe last week out here at the Grand Prix.
Saw on Instagram this week, Noah been working on a right side double cork. So we'll see if he pulls that one out. There's that right side double 12 into the left side cork 7. Nice little shifty in there. Noah known for his style. And there's the switch bone air named after Justin Dory. The switch left down the pipe 5 into the switch alley-oop dub flat. Nice clean run from Noah. Lots of switch tricks, lots of combos in there. That's definitely going to challenge the lead.
I was just about to get you to walk that plank. I was going to pull a Mike Atkinson on you and ask you where you think this is going to slide in the mix. Hunter Hess, your current leader, with an 80.50 is what you were referencing there, good sir. But we will wait and see. We'll get some highlights first, then we'll take a look at the score.
There's that right side double cork 12 there for Noah, adding that into his run this year, upping the difficulty and variety. And then the style trick with a nice cork 7 into the switch down the pipe, capping that tail grab. And then another switch down the pipe there. So nice switch combos here from Noah, upping the difficulty there. There's another look at that one, capping that tail grab.
Oh, we're into the 90s, Pete, at 91.50. So there you go, Noah Bowman, your new leader, but we're already into the 90s here, early on here in round number 1.
And that run from Noah just checks all those judges' boxes on their criteria. Tons of variety, tons of difficulty with the back-to-back switch hits. It's great to see.
So we move right along with another Canadian. We've got Simon D'Artois up next out of Whistler, up there in the British Columbia area. Simon was also out here in this very pipe last week at the Grand Prix. Finished 5th place out here, so just one spot ahead of Noah, who we just saw, who just took the lead. So wait for the wind to die down just a skosh, and then we're going to unleash Simon D'Artois.
Boys from up north, bit of an advantage. Canadian skiers, they ski in this stuff all the time. Dropping in, there's a nice big air to fakie, tons of amplitude to get started from Dart. The switch left 900, getting that safety grab, followed up with the switch right 720. And then into the double corks. There's the left side double 12, landing low, but keeping it together into the alley-oop dub flat 7. Nice run from Dart, almost running out of pipe, but putting it together with the back-to-back doubles at the bottom.
So he's fired up about that one as we go back up to the top for another look. Look at the size of that air to fakie.
Big air to fakie. And then to the switch 9. You see him reach down, get that safety grab, and then unwrap into the switch landing. Followed up with that switch 720, getting that mute grab in there. And then he ended with these 2 back-to-back doubles. So a left side double cork 12, landing low but keeping it together into that alley-oop double flat spin, poking out that grab, and just landing at the end of the pipe, using the whole pipe.
So what is the score going to be here for Mr. D'Artois? See him standing down there in the athlete staging area at the bottom of the pipe. Noah Bowman in that top spot with a 91.50, who we just saw prior to Simon's first outing here. It looks like the visibility's clearing up just a little bit out there. See, the trees aren't blowing around as bad as they were earlier.
Don't jinx it, Jimmy.
I know, it's like Fight Club. You don't talk about it.
Don't talk about it.
We have to. It makes riveting TV.
Fair enough.
So there you go. He's into the 80s with an 85 flat. So that is going to slide him into that number 2 position. So now it's Noah Bowman, Simon D'Artois, and now Hunter Hess in that number 3 spot. So we're seeing some things change up here in the heart of the run order here. Coming your way right now out of Breckenridge, this is Jackson Horter.
Jackson get things going up there on the looker's right wall with the right side 7, tail grab into the switch left 7, pulling that mute grab out. There's the right side 900, getting the Japan. Nice clean run so far. Reaching all the way out for maybe a truck driver there on the left 9 into the alley-oop flat 3. Calling it good there with a little tail butter at the end of the coping. Nice run from Jackson.
So at this point now, after Jackson's run, we're going to have 10 competitors in the mix, so we're going to see what our bubble score is looking like. Again, as we roll through this with 23 athletes, only the top 10 are moving on to compete in the finals. And we'll bump it up a notch. We get to the finals, Pete. You add a 3rd run. It's 3 runs. Best run counts in the final.
Here's a look back at the top of Jackson's run. Get things started with that right side 7. So showing it can spin multiple directions, different grabs on each hit. So looking through, getting maybe not as difficult of a run as some of these other guys, but definitely lacing through a bunch of different tricks, showing different grabs. So he's going to be up in the mix, maybe not in the top 3, but he'll be right up in that mix.
And again, this is round 1 out of 2. We still have a lot of skiers left to go in the run order here. Then we go back up to the top, do it all over again. 2 runs out here today in the qualifiers presented by Toyota. It is the better of your 2 runs that count. Remember that as we roll through this qualifier out here today. Building up a little bit of suspense here. Wait for it. Wait for it.
I like it.
We got Burke Irving coming your way next. So there you go, a 56.25. You called it middle of the pack right there. That'll slide him into the number 5 position. So as of right now, that 10 spot, it's a 24.75. That's Kevin Roland, who we saw earlier in this comp. So we're going to see that change as we move through. But that's the mark you're looking at right now. Just missing the podium last weekend here at the Grand Prix. We're welcoming in Burke Irving.
And Burke with a huge bag of tricks, getting things started with a nice big switch 720 into the right side 9, lead tail grab, into the left side 1080, getting that seatbelt Japan in there, so reaching across his body to get that Japan grab, and then finishing things off with the left side 12. Rare one there, kind of reverting around, maybe catching an edge in some of the loose snow there.
I just got a little loose in the flat, had to turn that one around and save it.
It's been a while since I've seen a 12 that wasn't a double cork. So Burke putting that one at the bottom of his run. Maybe a little less amplitude than what he's used to, so maybe not as big of tricks in this run, but looking to get a landed run in there so he can improve on his second one. Looking back here into that switch left 7, getting the Japan there. Here's a look at that last hit with the left side 12. You can see him reach back and wrap that one all the way around and just...
Ooh, I didn't see that in real time. He was leaning way over.
Yep. Saved that one with the slide edge catch, but he'll look to run number 2. He has a huge bag of tricks, just hoping for maybe a little more amplitude to put those down.
That could have been ugly right there. 32.25. It's good enough to put him in the cut for now, so he will sit on that bubble spot. So remember, it is a 10 cut as we move through. Taking a look at the overall standings right now. Noah Bowman, who blasted one into the 90s here, 91.50, followed by Simon D'Artois with an 85, and then Hunter Hess with an 80.50. That is your 1, 2, 3. But coming your way right now, all the way from New Zealand, he's 20 years old. We welcome in Ben Harrington.
Young Kiwi dropping in up there on the looker's right wall. Also going with the white. Getting things started with the left side double. Maybe missing the grab a little bit on that one. Into the right side 900. So good start here. It's a nice big cork 5. And the alley-oop double flat spin 7. Landing high on the transition, carrying speed into the switch left 9. Great run for the young Kiwi.
Fired
Full
up about
pull.
that one. I shouldn't have said anything about the wind. It started to get ugly up there at the top again.
You just can't use that W word. Here's a look back. Look at him skate into that, trying to carry as much speed as possible.
You got a little bit of a snow NATO there coming off the lip.
Ben doesn't look like one of the bigger guys in the field either, so he's trying to get as much speed as possible because that wind could push him around. There's a look back at that nice right side 9. But a good run top to bottom, mixing in a couple different double corks, couple style tricks, and a bunch of different grabs. So he's going to play into the judge's variation there and maybe hope to up the amplitude and difficulty on the second run. But that's a big double flat spin.
Hey, into the 70s, a 71 flat. So that's good enough for 4th place there, Mr. Harrington. So we'll see if that holds up as we roll through. So fired up about it at the bottom of the pipe. And rightly so. So again, the task at hand out here today is you just want to make the cut into the finals, Mr. Arneson, and it is a 10 cut. And right now that number 10 spot is being held onto by Jing Mao, who was our first skier. And so it's a 41.50 or better that's going to get you into the top 10 as of right now. But coming your way right now, another Kiwi in the mix. This is Miguel Porteous coming up.
Yeah, we have some heavy hitters still in the final grouping here. Probably change up that top 10 quite a bit once we go through run number 1. But right now they're just trying to land runs, get into that qualifying, and make it into finals so they can have 3 runs to show what they have.
So Miguel giving this a beat at the top of the pipe there. Waiting for the, see, there you go. Those wind blades.
Beautiful.
Tell the story.
You have a kite?
I left it at DIA, sorry.
That's okay. Wouldn't have fit in our shuttle anyway.
No, we were packed in like sardines in that shuttle ride, so sorry to say it's a kite-free dew tour for you and I out here this weekend.
It was a bonding time.
You know what, though? The rest of the weekend, weather-wise, is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you couldn't ask for better conditions out here. So, you know what? We had to deal with this last year when we were out here as well. We had a crazy snowstorm last year. Had to, put things on hold for a half a day. Everybody got to go take some powder runs. It was awesome. But you know what? The show always goes on here. That's what happens at the dew tour.
It's an outdoor sport.
Yeah.
You saw it with the Patriots last week. They threw 3 times and still won the game.
You had to throw that in there.
Yeah, well, I'm not a Patriots fan.
You're just rubbing it into Bills fans everywhere.
Well, it was rough. I'm a Josh Allen fan, but that was a tough one to watch.
It's a tough go. First that, and then they got to go face Brady in a new conference and still get the beat down. It's a tough go out there.
You think it's going to be Pats Bucks Super Bowl?
Yeah, probably.
That would be.
Anyways,
that would be fun.
Back to the task at hand here. Here we go. We welcome in Miguel Porteous for his first of 2.
Miguel, a little different drop-in style there. Get things started with the switch alley-oop. Miguel, first skier sans poles, so we're not having poles in his hands. Into the right side double 12 there, landing high in the transition, carrying speed into the left side 9 tail. Followed that up with the right side 9 tail, so mirroring tricks at the bottom. Nice run from Miguel Porteous.
What do you think that slides into the overall sort here?
The execution was there. I'm not sure if the difficulty was there to be up in that top 5. He's probably in the middle of the pack, so somewhere around Jackson
in there
border.
In the 50s.
And it was a good solid run. It had some tricks, had the nice switch alley-oop, it had a double cork mixed in, but kind of lacking in a few spots, so probably in that middle pack. So look at that right side double, reaching down, kind of missing the grab on that one. but bringing it around, nice high transition, and then mirroring the left 9 and the right 9 at the bottom.
Oh, so a little higher than the 50s, 65.50. That'll slide him into 5th place right there. Right there between Ben Harrington and Dylan Ladd. So now that bubble is 44.50, being held on to by Bing Han He, who has a second run coming up later on. So we got slippers into the pipe here. Try to get some of the loose stuff out of the bottom of the pipe right here.
Unsung heroes, Jimmy.
Hey, listen, they're keeping it fresh out here for us. Okay. So Noah Bowman, let's take a look at our standings here. We still have yet to complete the entire run over here for round 1, but it's Noah Bowman in a commanding lead, Pete, with that 91.50. But the line there at the bottom of the pack is a 44.50. We're going to see that change. You called it earlier. We're going to see that change as we run through it. But that is where we stand right now at Men's Ski Superpipe Qualifiers, presented by Toyota. Did you know that? Presented by Toyota?
Presented by Toyota. Tundras,
our
Tacomas.
Friends from Toyota, longtime friends and partners here of the Dew Tour. Oh, Aaron Blunk out of Crested Butte coming your way next. He was out here last week for the Grand Prix, had to settle for 10th place, and here we go. He's in for his first of 2.
Aaron getting things started. The looker's right wall with the right side double 12, capping that tail grab. Followed up with the left side 9. Speed not an issue for Aaron so far. There's the right side 1080, setting up switch for the switch down the pipe, flat spin, and then following that one up with the switch right down the pipe 7. So a nice run from Aaron, keeping it clean. Not the degree of difficulty we normally see out of Aaron with the back-to-back doubles all the way through, but putting down a clean run.
Throwing a little snow shower to some of our Dew Tour staff in the corral area there at the end.
There's a look back. Aaron being able to carry that speed through. He's one of the bigger guys in the field. There's a look at that big right side double cork and then into that left side. Getting that tail grab touch through there, but putting down a clean run, hopefully moving him up into the mix, into that top 10 to make finals.
What is it going to be? You need 44.50 or better to crack into that top 10. We're going to get one more look here.
So look back at that right side double. Aaron, speed not an issue on that double cork. Just pulling that one all the way through. So Aaron basically doing sets for his bigger tricks through this run. Into the switch rotation coming up next after this one would be a double, and then followed that up with another double. So these are kind of just sets. He's doing a safe run to get himself into finals.
Well, that safe run got him into the high 80s, and 86.75. That's good enough to put him in the number 2 position as of right now. So nicely done there for Mr. Blunk here in this first round out of 2. Coming up next, back to the Canadians here out of Calgary, 23 years old. We've got Dylan Marino getting ready to drop.
Canadians have been strong so far, not phased by the weather.
Come on, Dylan.
Tough world up north.
Go, Dylan.
How the Flames doing this year?
You know, I got an ESPN notification about NHL Power Ranks, so we'll have to check that at the next commercial. We've already gone football. Why not hockey? Look at the height
on
right
that
there.
huge one. Getting that thing started with the double flat spin into the right side 1080. Carrying nice speed through this run so far. Switch left 720 into the right side 900 tail grab. And looking for one more here out of Dylan, the left side 9. Nice clean run. Really big to start there at the top.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the replay on that one again because that first hit was absolutely huge. Wow.
There's a look back at it. There's that double down the pipe, flat spin, reaching down. You see him lock that safety grab in underneath his boot and hold it all the way through. And then back that one up with the right side. Just barely missing the tail grab on the right 10. But a nice clean run there for Dylan. Look at him reach all the way out to the tip of his ski.
He must have seen that Space Force promo at the top of the show because he was reaching for the stars there, Pete.
He was. Good one. That was good. Caught me off guard with that one, Space Force.
It's my job. I call out scores and I try to make you laugh.
Well, they're protecting satellites left and right.
So what does this do here for the score for Dylan Marino? We've got David Wise and Lyman Courier and then Cassie Jarrell all on deck. A 68 flat, which will put the man from Calgary in that number 6 position. So now you need a 54.75 or better to get into that top 10. It's Samson Schilling in that bubble spot as of right now. But here we go from Reno, Nevada, 31 years old. This is David Wise.
Dave looking to qualify for his 3rd straight Olympics. Get things started here with the switch left. Double 10, getting a nice grab on that one, pulling it all the way through. Speed not an issue for Dave on those first couple hits. There's the left side double 12, nice grab through that one. And there's the alley-oop flat spin, capping that tail grab. And wrapping things off with a nice left 9 shifty. A nice run from Dave, full pull.
How about that? The sun decided to make a bit of an appearance out here in the middle of that run as well. So,
oh, here we go.
Sign of better things to come.
Don't jinx it, Jimmy. Here's another look at that first hit. The switch down the pipe, double 1080. So flipping twice, spinning all the way around 3 times, and landing forward into the next right side 900. So 2 double corks for Dave, a variety of different grabs, and pretty good amplitude through the whole run. He kept a consistent amplitude top to bottom, and judges will take notice of that.
Got a 7th place finish out here in this very pipe last week at the Grand Prix. And he finds himself in the top spot. He's in the 90s with a 93.50. So how about that? A new lead change. And the man from Reno finds himself in the top position. Now Jackson Horder bumps down to that number 10 spot. So it's a 56.25 or better is the bubble as of right now. That's what you're trying to get if you're going to move into that final later on in the weekend.
Look at Dave hanging out with Aaron at the bottom. Aaron's wife Morgan here cheering him on. Big shout out to Morgan, keeping Aaron's head screwed on straight.
We're moving right along here. We got Lyman Courier on course here out of Boulder.
Lyman getting things started with the nice big switch left 720. Followed that up with the right side 900.
See how much real estate he carved across on that one?
Left side double. Lyman really pulling this run together. Big alley-oop, flat 5 mute grab. Into the left side 10. Nice run from Lyman. Great execution all the way through, very clean. And the judges have been rewarding clean skiing so far today, so I say that one's going to be up in the mix. So look back at that right side, 9, getting that Japan grab, just touched right in there. Into the left side double. Look at him reach down, grab that mute grab, pull it through, land high in that transition, so he had nice amplitude on the next one. There, look, you see how high he lands up on that transition. Lots of speed into that alley-oop, flat 5, tweaking that mute grab around, and then finishing things off with the left side 10, Cuban grab, reaching around to the opposite tail, capping that one through. See as he reaches back with that hand, capping that opposite tail and landing switch. Nice run from Lyman Courier.
So he's into the high 80s as well, an 86.50, so that'll slide him into that number 4 position here in round number 1 out of 2. So that's going to change our bubble spot yet again, but we have 6 skiers left to go here in round 1. There are your current standings. We saw David Wise jump up with a 93.50 to overtake the lead, but on course right now out of Aspen, this is Cassie Gerald.
Get things started with the left side double cork 12. Back-to-back double 12s. First time we've seen that today. Into the left side 10, keeping things together. A switch right 720 Japan. Pulling for a little more speed here at the bottom into the left side 9. And just checking there at the bottom of the transition.
It's all right. 2-run format. Remember that, everybody. Best run counts.
That was a good run. Till that last hit. First person to go out there and do back-to-back double cork 12s. See as he reaches down and gets to Japan there, and then follows that one up with another. Oh, that was the second double 12. There's the left 10. Nice run, and just kind of got G'd out there at the bottom. There's a look back at that last hit. Left side 900 tail grab. Just a little back seat and can't quite squat that one through. Not a full crash, but definitely not a landed clean trick.
Taking one more look at it here. Just right there at the end. Tough break right there. So now you just got to settle in and wait for that second run. By the way, the bubble spot now, Dylan Ladd in that number 10 spot with a 59 flat. So Cassie going to settle for a 26 for 17. Keep him outside of the top 10 as of right now. But again, we still have 5 more to go in this run order. Then we go back up to the top and do it all over again. coming your way right now. Also from New Zealand, this is Nico Porteous, who is your second place finisher here last week at the Copper Mountain Grand Prix.
Nico getting things started, switch. The switch right 900, mute grab. A little lower in the amplitude. There's the switch left 7, Japan. And then there's the right side double 12. Nice grab on that one, nice high landing. Back-to-back double 12s, increasing that amplitude. Alley-oop flat 5 with the shifty there. So nice clean run there from Nico.
That'll do it for run 1 out of 2 here for Nico Porteous.
There's a look back at that switch hit, getting things started, just touching that grab and bringing that one around to the switch 9. Back-to-back switch hits, and then he went into the back-to-back double 12s. So lots of difficulty through this one. That's gonna definitely put him up in the top maybe 3 spots.
Okay, so to top 3, you need an 86.75 or better. That's that bubble. Aaron Blanc sitting in that number 3 spot. And you got Noah Bowman in second, David Weiss in first as of right now.
One of the only guys putting down those back-to-back doubles. Judges are gonna take that difficulty in those combinations and to see where it puts him.
Getting the sled ride back up to the top for round number 2. See if we get that score. 89.75. That is good enough to put Nico Porteous in the number 3 position. So that bumps Miguel Porteous down to 10th. So now it's a 65.5 to get into that top 10. Back up to the top, looking at Hunter Carey here, 19 years young, out of Winter Park, Colorado. One of our final 4 competitors to go here in round number 1 out of 2. Here we go with Hunter Carey.
Get things started up on that looker's right wall. Coming in forward to the first hit. There's that double flare. Nice little safety grab in there. So getting things started with the double. Followed that up with the right side 1080. Into the switch left 720. A little lower in amplitude on that one, but increasing as he's going down here. A little hop through the flat bottom, capping things off with back-to-back 9s. Another nice full pull.
So we got Evan Marino, Alex Ferreira, and Yingbo Sun taking us out of the order here. So we take a look at some highlights here from Hunter's first outing.
There's a look back at that right side. You can see him reach back and just touch that tail grab. At this point, a lot of these top guys, they're really setting each other apart by locking those grabs, showing that execution. Not the biggest tricks today, but really kind of showing the execution through each trick in the run, and that's what's setting them apart in the judges' minds.
So Evan Marino on deck from Calgary as we await the score here from Hunter. So it's clearing up out here. I know.
Don't jinx it.
I probably shouldn't say
that. But it is shaping up, Jimmy.
That's part of our job, Pete.
It is looking good out there.
I like to liken myself to an amateur weatherman over here. So 47.75 right there for Hunter. So that is going to keep him out. And there we go. As soon as they say it.
It's okay.
That's okay.
It's okay. It's part of the game.
I'm not allowed to mention the weather anymore until halfway through the next round, Pete. That's my promise to you.
Weather.
And to everyone listening at DoTour.com.
Can't jinx it. Mother Nature. It is what it is.
So Evan Marino out of Calgary, 23 years old. So Miguel holds on tough right now to that bubble spot with a 65.50.
See that bubble score increasing as we're going along. Wouldn't be surprised if it was up in the 70s, maybe low 80s by the end of qualifying.
You're calling it bold statement. I like it right there.
We do, Cotton.
I know. You just drop a Cotton reference on me there?
Got to do it. Okay. Shout out to Mike Atkinson.
There you go. I was just going to throw a Mike Atkinson reference in there. Mike, we missed you, buddy. Hope you're doing well up there in Canada. But here we go.
One of the best nicknames of all time, Mike Accident Atkinson.
I don't know that story.
Oh, well, you should see him ski. There's that nice big double flare to get things going. The right side 900 traveling far down the pipe there, keeping the amplitude on the left side double 12 safety. There's the right side 7 coming in switch. The switch down the pipe double, sneaking it through. Nice run from Evan Marino. Canadians not fazed by the weather.
Not at all.
No.
Been a good go for these guys here in the opening round of 2.
Sorry, not sorry, Jimmy. There's the double flare. We're going into the second hit there. See him reach around, get that tail grab on the right side 900. 2.5 rotations. There's a look back at that double flare again. You see him lock that safety grab in and land right in the middle of that transition, kind of squatting that one through. Traveling a little more down the pipe than some of the guys, but keeping the speed and amplitude.
Yeah, that was a big carve right there. That was a beautiful look on that slow-mo replay.
The right side 720. And here's a look at that switch down the pipe, double 10, just sneaking it around. Nice run from the Canadian. He'll be happy with that one.
Just hanging out down there in the corral. Just, you know, casual Wednesday, waiting for my score. 69.50. Guess what, Evan? That's good enough to get you in the top 10. That is in 9th place for him right now. So that bumps Miguel Porteous out. Dylan Marino now sits in the bubble spot. Now it's a 68 flat or better if you're going to get into that qualifying lineup, if you will, to go into the finals. So you see the current standings. Ben Harrington rounding out the top 8. However, Evan Marino and now Dylan Marino rounded out 9 and 10. It's a 10 cut going into the finals as the wind is thrashing around down here in our booth. How's that blanket treating you, Pete?
You gotta quit saying these wind words. Yeah, I just did it, didn't I?
See?
Yeah. I like my blanket, by the way. Thank you for asking.
This is Alex Ferreira.
Alex getting things started with the switch, left 1080. Not a lot of amplitude on that one, but big into the right side double cork. Following things up with the left side 10. So gaining amplitude from that first switch hit. As a switch right 720 Japan into his left side double 12. So nice run from Alex. Lots of tricks. A couple weird spots with amplitude though.
Well, he was visibly fired up about that run as you see him make it to the bottom of the pipe.
You can see not as big on that first switch 10, but then right into the right side double 12 where he does gain quite a bit of amplitude on that forward trick. There's another look at it. You see him reach down right in front of his binding and lock in that mute grab, pulling it through, getting all the way around on that one.
Yeah, managed to find speed into and out of that second hit.
I can imagine dropping in switch on that first hit. It's probably not the best for speed, having to get that spin around there, and there's that switch right 7, and then capping things off with the left side double 12. So 2 double 12s in his run. So comparable to some of these other guys who also had multiple double 12s, Nico, and a few of the other guys who are up in that top 10. So he's gonna bump himself right up in there.
All right, time to play the score game here with one competitor left to go here in round 1. Keep in mind, this is just the first of 2. After we get the score for Alex and we get our final competitor here in the run order, we will go back up to the top and give everybody a second run here. Dylan Marino sits in the bubble spot right now with a 68 flat. Top 10 transfer on into the final. We've got Yingbo Sun from China, 18 years young, due up next to round out the run order here. They're teasing us here, Pete, with the score.
I know. Those judges, they like to take their time. They're big talkers.
Well, see, they can hear us, and now that you've said that, they're going to be like, oh, we're going to show Pete.
Well,
Pete and Jimmy want numbers in a hurry, and we're going to make them wait.
That's fine.
So 85.5, that puts Alex right in the mix, so that'll put him in the number 6 position. So now it's Evan Marino on the bubble. So you need almost a 70 to get in. It's a 69.50 is your cut.
I'm saying you're going to need probably in the 80s to make it in after second run. These guys are looking to bump up these scores.
I'm writing that down. Mark it 8, Donnie.
Write it down.
I just did.
Quote me.
There you go. So Yingbo's son, 18 years old, out of China, gonna round out the run order here.
Looks like he's from the same hometown as his fellow countrymen. What's the name of that hometown?
Listen, I was gonna make you walk that plank.
Get me started with a switch left, 540 into the switch right 7, working that one around, losing a little bit of speed there, but he's getting it back with the left side 900 into the right side 9. So back-to-back 9s in the middle of his run. There's the nice flare. Nice run there.
I'm gonna give it a shot. Yilin?
I like it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with it.
I'm sure somebody will text me
we'll go
and
ask him later.
Spell it out.
Yeah. But a nice full
It's a good
pull
research tip for later on. We can go find out.
It is.
We got time to walk around and be amongst the people in between
Have
our
a
next
coffee.
event. Yeah. Maybe a Mountain Dew kickstart.
Yeah, that's all you.
Listen, you got to get some branding in there. So round 1 is in the books, and the big story here, David Wise and Noah Bowman into the 90s. It's a 93.50 and a 91.50. However, we've still got plenty more to go. We've got round 2 coming up here from the Ski Superpipe Qualifier presented by Toyota when we come back.
The world's best slopestyle riders came to the Rocky Mountains, and the course was magical. Mark McMorris would get things started off. The creativity was amazing.
Yeah, and it really was Mark McMorris who kind of lit the judges on fire. Unleashing a litany of tricks up in the rail section, and then the first triple cork that went down in the final just really set the judges' pens on fire. And then it was all about everyone feeding off of what McMorris did in run number 2. Red Gerard starts to light up. The local here brings his flavor to the upper part of the course. He's no stranger to putting together the combos that get the big points on the rails.
The reigning Olympic gold medalist would lay down an amazing score of 93. It got the judges and the fans' attentions, as well as the rest of the competitors. Defending champion Ståle Sandbäck now was the next man to be heard from. His score was good, not as good as Red Gerard's, a 91 plus, so it had him in the conversation.
Ståle, his spins are flat, which arguably is much harder. As you see Ståle right there with a little hand drag 360, but then it was into the jumps where Ståle let loose on his triple line.
Another American that looked so good in this competition, young Brock Crouch. And this score really got everyone's attention, including fellow buddy Red Gerard. It was a 95.66 for Brock Crouch, and that would put him into the lead.
Basically, Brock came in and set the tone for what would go down.
Rennie Rinnekangas coming to us by way of Finland, sending out the positive vibes all day long in a different line.
Towards the bottom, Rennie was almost out of speed and somehow managed to do a gigantic switch double backside rodeo 900.
This run would put him into second place just behind the American Brock Crouch, 93.66.
Brock Crouch still in the lead though, with a lot more heavy riders yet to come down.
And Red Gerard on his final run.
It all came down to kind of setting up the bottom 3 jumps. The triple would get things done, switch, triple backside 1440.
Red Gerard goes into the lead with a 97.33. The defending champion, Ståle Sandbäck, would have the final say on a beautiful course here at Copper Mountain.
A little bit of a teaser, a look back there to snowboard slopestyle there at Dew Tour Copper Mountain 2020. We've got the qualifiers for men's slopestyle coming up later on. Todd Richards and Brad J will have the call for that one. However, you guys still have to hang out with myself. I'm Jimmy Coleman and Pete Arneson here for the next 45 minutes or so. Why, Pete? Because we've got round number 2 here in the men's Ski Superpipe Qualifier presented by Toyota. It's David Wise sitting in that top spot with a 93.50. Evan Marino is the bubble at 10th right now with a 69.50. It's the better of your 2 runs that count. Top 10 moving on to the final. We started all over again with the Chinese competitor. He's 20 years old. This is Bingjiang Miao starting it off in round number 2.
Get things going up on that looker's right wall. Starting things off forward with the nice left double 12. Landing that one clean, following that up with the right side 900. So good start here. A little more amplitude than his first run. The down the pipe flat spin 5 with the Japan into the right side 1080. Wrapping that one around, losing a shoe.
That's a tough break right there. He was 19th from his first run score at a 41.50. So had some work to do here in that second round. So that is not going to be enough. There's a look at your top 8. Remember, it's a 10 cut. What you don't see on that graphic, Ben Harrington sitting in 9th. And as I mentioned, Evan Marino sitting in that bubble with a lot of skiing left to go here. We have 22 left in the lineup here. Best run that counts, best run score you can get is 100. If you're just joining us here at dewtour.com. We're moving right along. Things are happening fast out here. You got Hunter Hess coming up next. Hunter's sitting in that top 10 as of right now. He's in that number 8 position, had an 80.50 coming out of Bend, Oregon. Getting a little loose there at the top of the pipe, Pete.
Little head shake side to side.
You know, you got to keep it limber out here. It's a long time in between these runs.
It is, especially with this wind and cold, but
we weren't talking about that.
It looks like it's improving.
We're not allowed to say that anymore.
I'm
Every time
saying
one of us
it.
says it, it just happens again.
The vitamin D's out there, sun's coming out. Welcome to Copper, beautiful place, great half pipe.
The rest of the weekend looks absolutely stellar weather-wise, but here we go. Run number 2 for Hunter Hess.
Hunter getting things started. There's that down the pipe double flat spin, reaching back
no.
with the tail and just losing it there in the flat bottom.
Well, he's got an 80.50 that first go-around, so that's got him in as of right now. However, he's going to have to nervously watch for the rest of this comp here. You'd like to give yourself a little more breathing room than 2 spots, so we will see.
There's a look back, see him reach back, get that tail grab, and he comes around. It looks like he's on the wrong edges there. He wants to be on the uphill edges to transition into that next wall, and just slipping out on that icy pipe.
He's getting a little bit of a snow stample there, so tough break for him, but he's still in for right now, so down but not out. Kevin Roland looking for some work to get done here. He had a rough go. That first run had a 24.75. Do not count this gentleman out. He is a veteran competitor and the elder statesman in the group at 32 years old. We're about to unleash him for run number 2 out of France. It's Kevin Roland.
Kevin dropping in. Had a good run going there on his first one. Get things started with the switch left 7. Taking it back a little bit, not as much. There's the right side double 12. Just sitting back, but still going into the left side 9. Lead tail grab there. The right side 9. So back-to-back 9s. Kevin looking to another hit here. Down the pipe 5. So not exactly what he wanted, but getting a landed run. We'll see where that puts him. It's going to be close.
Again, that number 10 spot, it's a 69.50. And Kevin, like we said, first run, he was down there in 23rd.
And if we look back at Evan's run, who's sitting in 10th place, it was a very solid run. Kevin's run had a few mistakes mixed in there. You see on this right side double 12, he misses the mute grab, which doesn't allow him to pull through the trick and land clean. But he kept it going with back-to-back 9s and a 5 there at the bottom. We'll see where the judges put him.
We'll have to wait and see. See when that score populates. So moving on right now, Dylan Ladd. He was in for a little while there. He finds himself in the number 13 position with a 59 flat. We'll keep you updated on that Kevin Roland score, but right now we move right along with Dylan Ladd.
Dylan get things started. Down the pipe double, getting to Japan, just a little back seat, but keeping it together into the right side 9. Followed that up with a little air to fakie. The switch right 7, so not exactly what he wanted there. Little bobble on that first hit. There's the flare. So Not quite what he wanted, but still piecing together a run there. But I'm not sure if that's going to get him in, Jimmy.
Yeah, he's 13th pre-run. By the way, Kevin Roland bumped up from 23rd into 18th. He ended up with a 47.25, so not enough to get in. So Evan Marino is safe for now as we play the score game here.
Unfortunately, Dylan with a couple backseat landings there, and that's not going to do it for him.
Yeah, he's going to have to settle for 13th for now, as we see Brendan McKay's name being highlighted on the scoring monitor here in the confines of our comfortable little tower here. That means he is coming up next. So again, Evan Marino sits on that bubble, safe for now with a 69.50. However, he's got another run coming up later on.
Brendo.
So he's going to get a chance to answer back. But Brendan McKay right now sitting on the outside looking in. He's in the number 16 spot. So here we go. Unleash him onto this pipe here. You're going to start it off from skier's right. Had a 49 flat in the first go around. See if he can get it down here in round number 2 from Calgary. Just giving it a beat here.
The wind swirling around a little bit at the top. We've seen some breaks in it, though. It seems to be kind of piecing together for these guys.
That's kind of what they've been talking about throughout the day, that this was going to start cycling through and be out of the area here. Give us clear conditions for the rest of the weekend.
Nice big switch alley-oop to get things started. Followed that up with the switch down the pipe 7. So back-to-back switch hits into the right side 900 lead tail grab. The left side double 12. Nice and clean on that one. Definitely an improvement. Back-to-back double 12s there. So a huge improvement from his first run. Brendan McKay putting it down.
So again, 16th pre-run, he had that 49 flat.
You
can hear the reaction.
He's moving up.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So here's a look back at that first hit. Big switch alley-oop 5, locking in that grab. So back-to-back switch hits, and then he went into the 9. Here's a look at that one. Lead tail grab, capping that grab. Judges like to see you grab all the way out on the tip of the ski. Increased difficulty on those ones. And then here we go with the back-to-back double cork 12. So 3.5 rotations, flipping twice, mirroring those tricks with the same grab too. Nice run there from the Canadian skier.
So what is it going to be? Evan Marino sitting in that 10th spot with a 69.50. Things are getting kind of dicey here in this second and final round. Taking a look up top here at our next competitor. This is Binghong He, currently in 19th with a 44.50. So it looks like Brendan McKay did bump up there, as we see Ben Harrington's name slide into that number 10 spot and Evan Marino slide down to 11th. We'll get you an update on that, but right now we have Binghong He from China on course.
Getting things started with a nice switch 720 into the right side 9 there. Nice left 9, getting that lead tail grab, alley-oop flat spin Japan. Much cleaner so far than his first run. Down the pipe, flat spin, nice run top to bottom there. So definitely an improvement from his first run score. I'm not sure if it has the difficulty that's going to bump him up into that top 10 to make it into finals, but a huge improvement.
That bubble now is a 71. We're creeping closer to your prediction. You called that bubble spot in the 80s. By the way, Brendan McKay got into the 90s. That was a 90.75. So he's in the number 3 spot behind Noah Bowman.
Must have had his poutine. There's a look back. There's that left side 9. So yeah, an improvement, but not bumping him up into that top grouping. A nice showing, nice skiing of the pipe.
Yeah, just a 1/4 of a point there on the improvement, but an improvement nonetheless. Up next out of Steamboat Springs, got Samson Schilling. He was in there in that top 10 for a little while. He finds himself in that number 16 spot again. You now need a 71 flat or better if you're going to get into the top 10.
Getting things started on that left wall with the left side double. Late mute grab on that one. Good way to do that grab. Air to fakie, coming in switch to his 3rd hit. The switch down the pipe 7, reaching back behind his leg with that Japan. There's the right side 900, getting that tail grab. The left side 900, good amplitude on that one. Nice run there from Samson. Still can't see his legs, Jimmy.
That's what happens when you rock the camo out
Doesn't
here.
get old. I think I'm just jealous. See him reach down for that late mute grab on the left side double cork 12. Into the big air to fakie. Holding that safety all the way through. And that switch down the pipe 7, reaching back behind his leg, getting that Japan grab. So good variety of grabs all the way through. And pretty good amplitude top to bottom. He showed a consistent amplitude, which is what the judges are wanting to see today. It's going to be close.
So again, to tell the story here, 16th pre-run at a 54.75. We've seen that bubble score change. Evan Marino, who we'll see later on, is on the outside looking in as of right now, but it's Ben Harrington sitting in that spot. So a 63.25, that's only going to move him up 2 spots right there, so that's not going to do it. An improvement, but tough break there. Not going to be able to make it.
Yeah, Noah. One of the judges at this point are kind of jammed up there in the 60s, so they're just trying to get their ranking. The numbers may not show a bigger run, but.
All right, so taking a look at our next competitor here. He sits in the number 2 position. The first year we saw score into the 90s out here today. This is Noah Bowman holding on to a 91.50 from round number 1.
Noah Bowman, your favorite skier's favorite skier, coming in. Switch with that nice switch down the pipe 9, so mixing up his run. There's that switch, capping that grab. Oh, just landing a little bit forward there.
It's all right.
He's pretty safe with his first run in that 91.
Yeah, he got his work done early on right there.
Nice looking bowls too. I have the same ones.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
Shout out to Jason Ahrens.
You getting commission there?
Yeah, probably not. Might get another set though.
Just putting ideas out there. Trying to get you on the flow there, Pete.
So Noah's gonna keep that first run score, 91. That's gonna hold him in that second place position. We'll be seeing him in finals.
Yeah, and again, he got his work done in that opening round, so it gave him the comfort, the buffer, if you will. Simon D'Artois, he's currently in the top 10 as of right now. He sits in that number 8 position. He had an 85 flat that first go around, but there's still quite a few names left on this start list here, so you'd love to give yourself a little bit more breathing room, and we're cutting him loose here. Run number 2 for Simon D'Artois.
Yeah, Dart definitely trying to improve here. Sitting in 8th place isn't the right spot to be, so getting a huge air to fakie to start. There's a switch left down the pipe 900. Backing that up with the switch right side 720. Into the left side double 12, getting that mute grab. And the alley-oop double flat 7. Nice run from Dart, no touch on that last one.
There you go, trying to bump up from that 85, give yourself some breathing room here. Again, top 10, moving on into the finals. Let's take another look from the second run.
Gotta love that air to fakie to get things going. Into the switch left, down the pipe, 900. Safety grab on that one. So right into the 2 back-to-back switch hits. And then the back-to-back doubles to cap things off at the bottom here with the left side double cork 12. And then the alley-oop double flat 7.
That one's actually going to be the throwaway run. He got a 79.25, so he's going to have to hope that first run of 85 flat is enough to hold on again. He's in that number 8 position as of right now. Followed by Hunter Hess and then Ben Harrington rounding out the top 10. There you go. I don't have to glance over there at the scoring monitor anymore. There's your current standings from 9 on down. Again, it's a 10 cut. We got Jackson Horter in for run number 2. I believe he's in the number 16th position.
Get things started. There's that double flare, getting the tail grab on that one. Nice run so far. The right side 7. Tail coming in switch with the switch down the pipe 7. Just touching that mute grab. And the alley-oop, double flat spin. Oh, just going down on that one. Tough fall there.
Well, getting up right now, or attempting to at least, as we see the medical staff getting up to tend to him. So able to roll over on under his own power and attempting to sit up, so that is a good sign right there. So as we let Due Tour Medical tend to him, we take a look at the standings here. And again, we keep talking about that 10 cut to try to get into the finals, and it's not just about the Dew Tour podium out here this weekend. This is an Olympic qualifier. We got the big one coming up here.
The big show.
In February. Over in Beijing. Are you going?
I'm not. I'll be watching from home.
I will as well.
Yep. With my wife and 2 dogs. Shout out to my wife. She's watching right now.
These are your overall standings as of right now. Ben Harrington sitting in that bubble spot with a 71 flat, who still has a second run yet to go. So there you go, able to stand up under his own power. So you never like to see that happen, but you do love to see it when they stand up and walk or ski away under their own power. So shout out right there, Jackson Order, for taking a knock right there.
That's a tough one with those alley-oop doubles. That seems to be one of those tricks that if you're just barely off, man, that's a tough fall.
It's just tough when you get pitched to the bottom of the transition like that. You just don't, there's nothing to absorb at that point. You just kind of get rolled over.
There's a reason I was not a half-pipe skier, Jimmy. That's because I was scared.
I mean, this thing's daunting. I mean, 22-foot walls, and I mean, you can see right there. I mean, it's a monster of ice out there that you have to contend with.
Absolutely
as we get
terrifying.
the pipe slippers back out there. So we haven't kind of rehashed this here in round number 2. Let's talk again about that judging criteria. We might have some new viewers in the audience here, Pete. Let's talk about what the judges are looking for.
They're looking for progression, amplitude, variety, execution, and trick difficulty, and all those together are what they're going to get for an overall impression score for that run. And what they're doing is they're comparing each run. They're ranking each run to see who ends up in that top 10.
So taking a look at our top 3 as of right now, we've got 3 big scores in the 90s here as we tell the tale of men's Ski Superpipe Qualifier presented by Toyota. Taking a look at some highlights of what's gone down so far.
Seen some great skiing even with the weather conditions so far. Doesn't seem to be affecting speed as much as we thought. Seen some really good runs out here at Copper.
Definitely seemed to improve from early on in round 1 and seen more improvement here in round number 2. But today it's all about making that 10 cut and trying to get into that final. You just got to chip away at the little pieces throughout the weekend here, Pete. Burke Irving coming your way next. Again, shout out to Jackson Order. Keep those positive vibes and well wishes going his way. We'll get you an update on him when that becomes available. Burke is on the outside looking in, down in 21st out of rough go that first run. Here we go, second final attempt for Mr. Burke Irving.
Burke's definitely one of those guys who has potential to jump up in that top 10, getting things going to the left side, double 12, already in a huge improvement to the right side 9, capping that tail grab. There's the left side 10, seatbelt Japan, reaching around his body, switch right down the pipe 7, and then finishing it off with the alley-oop flat 3. Cool variety of tricks there and a much better run for him.
Think that's going to be enough to get in there?
He's going to be close.
That was so committally non-committal.
I wanted to.
He's going to be close, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
How close, Pete?
Oh, I think he has the tricks. He has the amplitude at the top. It kind of tapered off a little at the bottom, but he's still doing style tricks mixed in. I wouldn't be surprised if he jumped up into that right across the bubble range, right into that 7, 8, 9 spot. Nice run from Burke. There's a look at that switch right 7. There's a cool look at that down the pipe cork 3. Oh, last hit, there's that switch hit again. There's that down the pipe cork 3. Just a different variety, very hard trick. Not a big spin, but not a whole lot of guys that can do that trick right there. So we'll see what the judges end up doing with it. What do you think, Jimmy?
Well, if Ben's in that 10 spot and he does get bumped, he's going to get a chance to answer right back because he is our next skier. Take a look at Burke there in the corral area. But Ben's up top. And it is a 79, so you called it. He's going to slide into that number 10 spot. Burke Irving just squeaks in there as of right now, so that's going to bump Ben Harrington down to 11. So right now, he's going to get the chance to answer back. It's a little bit of a chess match going on out here in the Super Pipe at Copper Mountain.
These guys are playing chess. We're down here playing checkers.
Just dropping more references out here.
On course, Ben Harrington getting things started. It's the left side double. Nice amplitude. Oh, and just landing a little back seat.
That's a tough break right there. He just gets edged out, and this was the chance to answer back, and it is not going to happen here for Ben Harrington. That is a tough break right there.
But a great showing on his first run. Really put it down, and he's right in that mix. I mean, he's not far off from some of these top guys that are putting down runs. So good showing from the Kiwi out here in Copper.
Well, Burke jumped up there into that last transfer spot and gave himself an 8-point differential between him and Ben Harrington. So we will have to see how the rest of this unfolds. You got Miguel Porteous coming up next. Miguel's just a couple of spots outside of that top 10 right now. He sits in 14th here, pre-run with a 65.50. We send him in for his second final attempt.
Get things started, switch with the switch alley-oop, flat spin. Landing high in the transition, carrying speed into the switch down the pipe, 7 Japan. The right side double 12. Oh, just a little hip check, and that's it. So not what he was looking for on that one, unfortunately. Miguel not putting it together. He will end his day in 14th.
Well, Burke Irving safe for now. 10 skiers left to go here. We're almost to the end point here. Got Aaron Blunt coming up next out of Crested Butte. He is in the top 10. As of right now, he sits in that number 5 spot up there in the high 80s. He had an 86.75. Looking to be fairly safe here. Moving on into the next round. It's looking like he's going to start things off over here from skier's right. People on the mountain out here today. I think this place to be bumping.
They're out making turns. The good snow fell overnight. They're out there getting those turns right now.
There we go. Aaron Blunt coming in hot with a good clip of speed here.
Aaron's starting off. There's that right side double 12 tail grab. Backing that one up with the left side 900 lead tail. To the right side 1080 lead tail. Nice run so far here from Aaron. Switch down the pipe double. Oh, just barely sneaking that one around. So a little glimpse of what we might see from him in the finals. So there's switch down the pipe, double flat spin, but just not quite getting that one around. Maybe landing a little low in that transition. So look back at that first hit, the right side double 12. See him reach back for that tail grab. A little bit into the left side. There's the right side 1080, setting himself up switch here. So as he comes into the switch down the pipe double, popped off the wall a little too hard, landing low in that transition and just not quite sneaking it around for another hit. But Aaron will sit with that first run score, keeping him in 5th place.
Yeah, he got it done in that first round. So 5th place, not a bad spot to be here with, I believe, 9 more skiers left to go. Dylan Marino up next, another Canadian here in the lineup. He finds himself just a couple of spots out, just kind of knocking on the door, Mr. Arneson. He's in 13th pre-run. He got a 68 flat that first go around.
All right, Dylan, copy. Come on, Dylan!
He's going to start it off from skiers left. And here we go. Second final attempt here for Dylan Marino out of Calgary, Alberta.
Big amplitude on that first hit. Oh, and just kind of scrubbing down the wall, not getting it around. So unfortunately, not what Dylan was hoping on that one. He is not going to make it in that top 10. But great skiing, tons of amplitude on that first hit, just not quite bringing it around clean.
So with 8 left to go, coming up next, you've got your current leader, David Weiss, sitting in that top spot. Followed by him, we're going to see Lyman Courier and Cassidy Gerald. Nico Porteous, Hunter Carey, Evan Marino, Alex Ferreira, and Yingbo Sun round out the order here. Look at that monster score out of him in round number 1. He had a 93.50. Your current leader in for run number 2, David Weiss.
Dave dropping in, get things started with the switch down the pipe, 720, locking in that Japan. Into the right side 9, lead tail grab. The left side 9 shifty. He's just kind of cruising on this one, sitting in 1st place right now, saving his best tricks for finals. There's that little flare there at the bottom. So Dave locking in 1st place right now, 93.5. He's safe. He'll be in that top 10 going into finals.
Yeah, out of our final 7, we've got 3 as of right now that are in the top 10 here. You got Lyman Courier is currently in there, Nico Porteous, and Alex Ferreira. You got Nico sitting in 4th, Lyman sitting in 6th, and then you got Alex sitting in number 7 right now. So out of our final 7 here, only 4 are on the outside looking in. As we tell the tale here of men's Ski Superpipe Qualifier, presented by our friends over at Toyota. Speaking of the devil, there's Mr. Courier right there, 86.50.
Yes,
first round. Has him in that number 6 position here. Lovely view looking down into the Copper Mountain Village and Interstate 70 there, traversing across Colorado.
It sounds like something up there, Jimmy. I'm not going to say what it is, but it sure sounds like something.
Indeed.
Starts with a W, ends with an N.
We stayed away from it. We're not jinxing it for these last 7 skiers. Here we go. Lyman Courier, second final run.
Lyman dropping in switch. Nice big switch down the pipe. 720 with the Japan. The right side 900. Lots of amplitude out of Lyman. Left side double 12, landing high in that transition. Huge alley-oop flat spin with the mute. And Lyman going for that left side double 14. Lyman Courier making a statement out here, Copper. Woo! He is not happy with that 6th place. He is looking to move up that leaderboard, and I think he just did it.
Excited at the end of that run, and rightly so. Take a look at the height here as we roll through some highlights.
All the way through the switch left, starting that one up into the right side 9, reaching back in that Japan. There's a look at the left side double 12. So 2 left side doubles in this one, the 12 and the 14. First 14 we've seen today. There's that alley-oop flat spin 5. I love the way he rips that mute grab. And then the left side double 14, bringing it around to switch. Clean landing. See as he pulls this one around and then rotates all the way around to switch. That is definitely an improvement. We'll see where it puts him.
So he had an 86.50 that had him in that number 6 spot pre-run with 6 competitors left to go. So an 88.75, that's going to bump him up only 1 spot. However, it'll put him in the number 5 position right there. So again, you just got to make the 10 cut getting into the finals. So it's David Wise, Noah Bowman, Brendan McKay, Nico Porteous, now Lyman Courier, and then Aaron Blanc sitting in that number 6 spot. Alex Ferrer in 7th, Simon D'Artois in 8th, Hunter Hess in 9th, and Burke Irvin's on the bubble with a couple competitors left to go. You got Cassidy Gerald on the outside looking in right now, sitting in that number 23 position.
Getting a speed push in, starting things off with that left side double 12, landing high in the transition, into the right side double 12, back-to-back doubles, both directions. Left side 1080, coming in switch with the switch right down the pipe, 720. Nice run so far. Capping it off with the big, oh, going down. Oh no. What a great run top to bottom, and just going a little too big and running out of pipe.
Just got a little whiplash at the end of that one too, but he pops right up out of that one and skis off, but man.
Oh, what a great run top to bottom. Unfortunately, just going down on that last one. We look back at the back-to-back double 12s. Starting it off hot. Carried good amplitude all the way through his run too. Let's look at that left side 1080. So 3 full rotations coming around switch. And then here's the last one. I think he just ran out of pipe, Jimmy. Maybe just landed a little low. Yeah, just not quite enough vert on that wall. Whipping back. I would be done for the season.
I was gonna say that was nasty at the end right there, but popped right up from that and just skied off like it was no big deal there. They're gonna have to stay in that number 23 position. Nico Porteous currently sitting in that 4th position. The 89.75, just knocking on the door of 90s. After that, we'll see Hunter Carey, and then Evan Marino, Alex Ferreira, and Yingbo Sun. So of our final 5 here, 2 of them are currently in the top 10. Of course, Nico, we just mentioned, and then Alex Ferreira coming up in a couple of skiers. Alex is sitting in that number 7 spot. So coining a phrase that you used earlier, Maybe Nico using this run to give us a little look-see, little teaser to what we'll see in the finals later on this weekend?
Well, he definitely has more gas in the tank. We know he has the 16s. Maybe I should say a little more petrol in the tank. Petrol in his ute. So we'll see what he has.
You're so politically correct.
Well, I like the Kiwis like to hear it, and I like to give it to them.
Hey, I support you, sir.
I'm a big fan of the Kiwis. Here he goes, dropping in on that looker's left wall, starting things off switch with the switch right down the pipe 900. Better grab on this run than his first one. There's the switch double 10, keeping it together, gaining amplitude in the right side double cork 1260. So back-to-back doubles with the left side double 12 into the alley-oop flat spin Japan with the shifty. So improving and definitely increasing the difficulty there. We'll see where that puts him.
He was close to the 90s there from that first run, just knocking on the door here. Up there, had that 89.75.
Look back at his first hit here. Here's that switch right 9. You can see grab that mute grab, ripped it back all the way through into the switch left double down the pipe 1080, coming around forward, and then he went both ways, double cork 1260. So back to back doubles, and then a nice big stylish alley-oop flat spin with the shifty there. So definitely a top to bottom run with a good variety of tricks from Nico.
Well, he finished second here at the Grand Prix on this very mountain just last weekend, and putting himself in yet another final here, making it 2 weekends in a row. We'll see if that score does improve, as you said. We got up next, we got Hunter Carey, who's currently on the outside. Burke Urban's still hanging on with that 79, by the way. We haven't talked about the bubble in a while. Burke is still hanging on. He got that 79 flat in his second run. He bumped Ben Harrington down, and Burke has been hanging on tough. And Nico Porteous finds himself in the 90s. It's a 91 flat. So he will bump up 1 spot. He was in 4th. He now finds himself in the number 3 position. So nicely done right there, and a little bit of a teaser as to what you might see out of him in the final. Taking a look at our current standings here up the top of the pipe as we take a look at Hunter Carey out of Winter Park, Colorado. Hunter down in 18th position as of right now.
Okay, Hunter, good to go.
With only 2 more skiers left after him that are on the outside of that top 10 looking in. As we keep mentioning, Burke Urban, he's in that transfer spot right now with a 79 flat, which has held up thus far.
Yeah, bud.
Hunter, 19 years old, and he is off here, started off entering the pipe from skiers left.
Get things going with a nice double flare. So flipping twice, coming around into that right side 1080, just sneaking that one through, setting himself up switch for the switch left down the pipe 720 into the right side 900. And then finishing things off with the left side 900. So back-to-back 9s at the bottom. We'll see if that's an improvement. Definitely piece that one together, showing back-to-back tricks.
We got Evan Marino on deck, followed by Alex Ferreira. Alex is in that number 7 spot. We take a look back here to Hunter's second and final run.
There's a look at the double flare, double 900 there into the right side 1080. And backing that up with the switch down the pipe 720, reaching back behind his leg, locking in that Japan grab. There's the right side 900, and then following that one up, the cap off his run with the left side 900. So we'll see where that one puts him. I don't know if that's going to break up into the top 10, but a nice full pull for him.
This is yours. Let's go.
Well, Evan Marino sitting in that number 12 spot with a 69.50. He's in for his second and final attempt. Can he get it done?
Bringing lots of speed, getting things going with the big double flare. Nice clean landing at the top of the wall there into the right side 900 tail grab. The left side double cork 12, holding that safety grab all the way through to the right side 720, setting up switch for the switch left double 1080, sneaking that one around and walking it through. We'll see where that puts him. A couple little bobbles there with the skis and the flat bottom, maybe a little added snow, but a nice full pull there for him.
Okay, again, we're gonna have to play the score game here and watch that board. So we take a look at some replays.
Get things started with that double flare, holding that safety grab all the way through into the right side 900. Just maybe ghosting that grab a little bit. Judges want to see you really lock those grabs all the way through. A nice run, and then he comes to the bottom here with the switch left down the pipe double, landing a little bit low, and you could see his edge just kind of catch on that downhill ski, but keeping it together and skiing out of that one.
Well, that's not going to be enough to do it, so we now know that everybody from 9th place on up is safe. So from Hunter Hess on up, we will see all of those names in the final. Alex Ferreira, currently in that number 7 position, so he has marked his spot in the finals already, using this as a dry run going into that final event.
Start off with the switch down the pipe 1080 tail grab into the right side double 12. Nice rotation on that one, not as flippy. To the left side 900 tail grab, right side 900 tail, so mirroring those 9s and then capping it off with the left side 10. Just kind of feeling the pipe out. He knows he'll be in finals. He won the last Grand Prix here. He's got more tricks up his sleeve, so we'll see more pole whipping and landed runs out of him, I'm sure.
Yeah, today was getting through the weather, making that 10 cut and just earning yourself that spot, and then you can change up the strategy moving forward into the week.
Well, it'll be interesting too, because it's going to be a completely different pipe on the day of the finals without the new snow, without the wind. So we'll see different runs, a lot.
Oh, for sure.
More amplitude, a lot more spinning, and we'll see what happens.
Going to finish out that number 7 spot, but as we mentioned before, he's punched his ticket to get into the final. So we have one more skier left to go. So Burke Irving's going to have to watch one more run here. Hope that 79 flat holds up. So there you go. That mysterious shining orb in the sky has decided to make an appearance out here. Taking a look at your standings, David Wise with a 93.50 from round 1. Noah Bowman with a 91.50. Then you take a look at the bottom half. Hunter Hess in that 9th spot. Burke Irving, he got his work done in run number 2 with that 79 flat to just edge out Ben Harrington. So he's going to have to wait and see how this next run, or this last run, I should say, all pans out. By the way, we have 6 Americans in the top 10 here going into this final beat. If you're playing the country game.
It's going to be a fun country game in the next month to see who makes those spots for the Olympic team.
Yeah, trying to earn their mark on Team USA going into Beijing here. Speaking of China, our last competitor here out of that country, this is Yingbo Sun.
Get things started with the switch 5 down the pipe with the Japan grab into the switch right 7. Coming out a little open in that one, into that left side 9, sitting back, but pulling through. There's the right side 900, so back-to-back 9s in the middle of his run, into the flare, and then one more hit for him at the right side 1080. Oh, and just going down on that one, so it looks like Mr. Burke Irving might be safe.
And that 79 is going to hold up. You were close. You predicted 80s. I'll give that one to you. You're only a point off. I'll give you that one.
I think I said high 70s to 80s, and then I got a little confident.
You got ahead of yourself.
I got a little confident.
And you called it straight 80s.
So I'll have a conversation with the judges.
I gave it to you, man, and you just had to go and undermine it right there.
So Ian Meter is sitting in that judge's booth right now, and he probably had it out to get me. He didn't want to put those scores in the 80s. Here's a look back at the top runs from today. Nico Porteous, back-to-back doubles, tons of style out of Noah Bowman, the Canadian. Always good to see him out skiing well, and I know he has more tricks. There's another look at that down the pipe. And then David Wise going for another Olympics, seeing how many gold medals he can put up on his mantle down there in Reno, Nevada. Skiing well.
So there you go. The weather started to agree with us a little bit more here towards the end than it did at the top of the competition. However, the show had to go on. And here we are. The Americans definitely came to play out here as 6 of them move on into that final. So it's going to be an all-out brawl later on the week to put yourself into the Dew Tour podium in history books and try to earn themselves a spot on the U.S. Olympic team going into Beijing here in just a couple of months. It's coming up, and it's coming up fast. We're not done for the day yet here, Pete. There's your final standings. Look at that. A couple of 90s. It was 90s early on here in this competition. You got the U.S., Canada, New Zealand represented here. Tough break there for Ben Harrington. Just gets bumped out, but Burke Irving notches his spot to make it 6 Americans in the final. We're not done yet, Pete. we come back a little bit later on, we've got Women's Ski Superpipe Qualifiers presented by Toyota, so we get to do this all over again and watch the women try to punch their ticket into the finals.
I can't wait to hang out with you some more, Jimmy.
There's plenty more to come here from the Dew Tour at Copper Mountain here in 2021. We thank you guys for watching. Stick around. We'll be back a little bit later on here for Women's Ski Superpipe Qualifiers.
Dew Tour is brought to you by Mountain Dew. Do the Dew. Toyota. Let's go places.